Welcome back to the Michigan Business Beat, brought to you on the Michigan Business Network. Chris Holman here. And we are coming to you from the Grand Hotel, where the Detroit Regional Chamber of Commerce has their annual policy conference. And that's where everybody is. And gosh, look who popped up. The governor of the great state of Michigan, Gretchen Whitmer. How are you?
I'm great.
Good.
We were just chatting about how great it is to be able to get up early and enjoy this beautiful weather.
It is. And I'm kind of enjoying going to bed earlier than I used to.
Ditto.
Well, you keep pretty busy. You do. Hey, and listen, I want to thank you on a personal note for coming to the Michigan Celebrate Small Business and making a statement. That room really enjoyed you, and it was all business people.
Well, it was great. It was a great event, a great crowd, and certainly I appreciate all the work that you've done to be a voice for and help small business advocate and get, reflected in our priorities as a state. It's crucial. It's the backbone of our economy. And so it was an honor to be there, and certainly wanted to thank you for all your years of dedication too.
Well, I've managed for 20 years to stay out of the way, which is really my strength. Um, your perspective of small business, and you mentioned this in your preamble, but is a very healthy one. And a lot of times people have a tendency to say, "Oh, she's a Democrat. She's going to be all union. She doesn't care about small business, etc." But you get that picture, and you came up through a business family.
Oh yeah, my dad was always, in the business sector, not small business, but, had that business mindset. My husband, a small business owner, he is always that voice is in my ear, about making it easier for the person that's taking a risk and
Yeah.
putting money and sweat and tears into building something and putting people to work. I mean, it's really, I think, a courageous thing for someone to start a small business, and to be successful at it takes an incredible amount of strength and grit. And so I have a great deal of respect for small business.
It's interesting. I've always said if you're a small business person, if you've gone to bed on Wednesday night worried about Friday's payroll,
Yep.
and there's that gut check that really makes you that way. You have done a lot on talent initiatives because that has been a challenge in Michigan for the last 3.5 years.
Yeah, well, it's been a challenge in Michigan for decades, if we're honest. The auto industry was such a boon for us, and it gave people a ticket into the middle class without pursuing, skills beyond high school. You could hone them, on the line and make a good living doing it and buy a place up north. And
Yeah.
in today's economy, we've got to have a different set of skills, and it's going to continue to change. We've got to be nimble. And that's why we've got to level the financial barriers to people from pursuing those degrees, whether it's an X-ray tech or it's someone who's working on an EV or it is any other discipline. It's a set of skills that is quickly evolving as technology does. And that's why we've got to really invest and make it easier for people to get those skills.
No, you're absolutely right. And your GoPro, oh boy, what a program that was.
You know what? It started under the Snyder administration, and I think that's something that's really important for us to continue so that we can help small business that is investing in their own people to, evolve their skills as well. So I think we want business to be able to do that. And if the state has policy that supports it, I think it's great.
Well, one of the things I love about you is you don't throw out what the last person did and
No.
say that's them. We got to put in first. No, you took best.
Yeah.
Practice.
I recognize I don't know everything.
What?
No, most politicians won't say that.
Ooh.
But, I try to surround myself with smart people. I try to, we created the Michigan Reconnect. Guess what? That was actually a Tennessee idea. We made it better. We made it a uniquely Michigan thing, and we worked with the business community to do it.
Yeah.
But it's like, if someone's got a good idea, let's replicate it. And if we can make it better, that's great.
Best practices winds up with the best usage. So let's talk about what you're focusing on this week.
So we got a lot of stuff. We're focusing really on creating an innovation culture in Michigan. So building out the infrastructure for innovation, making sure that we're lowering costs for people. We're going to have a great announcement today around utilizing IRA dollars to build more housing. We've had a really aggressive housing goal. Guess what? We're ahead of schedule. So we're going to make it even more aggressive. We're going to build 115,000 units. And we know affordable housing is a need, whether you're in Lansing or in Marquette, Detroit, or Traverse City. That is a universal need. And so that's going to be a focus. And then the others, lowering energy costs. So using some of this IRA money $300 million to upgrade 28,000 homes, whether it's weatherization or upgrading appliances or helping install solar. This is how we can bring down people's costs and I think help on the energy front.
Yeah, it's interesting that talent thing has been an issue. And we keep recruiting these companies here, and they're going to need like 450 jobs. And I'm always scratching my head going,
Where are they going to live?
yeah.
Yep.
And where are they?
Yeah.
In many cases.
Well, and that's why this is so important. And Michigan's strategy is not one size fits all. It's not we're going to build the same unit in all of these places that need them. It's what does the local community have? They have old stock that needs to be brought up to speed, up to date.
Yeah.
Or is it a rural area that has no stock that we need to build from scratch? So different needs in different places, but we're being creative and we're working as partners and making sure that we're moving as fast as we can.
I'll tell you what you've done here is phenomenal. I appreciate it. And I appreciate our friendship.
Thank you. Me too.
All right. Very good. The great governor of the great state of Michigan, Gretchen Whitmer, and we're coming to you from the Detroit Regional Chamber of Commerce's annual policy conference on Mackinac Island. You're watching the Michigan Business Beat on the Michigan Business Network. I'm Chris Holman.